Hello and welcome to Dreams of Wings, and welcome here to RAF Coltershall. We're not going to be flying from here, but what a great example of what we are going to be talking about and looking at in this video. This is of course the latest release from Burning Blue Design, and a big thank you to them for giving me the opportunity to show it to you in this video. This is of course United Kingdom and Ireland solar farms. If you're wondering why on earth would I want this in my sim, then this isn't for you. If you're flying at flight level 820 in your tube liner, then who cares what the solar farms look like? But if you're of the kind who likes to do VFR, low and slow, all that kind of stuff, they are actually a really useful tool. And there's 1,700 solar farms that are dotted across the British Isles, and each one has been recreated in this package, which is quite incredible. For a VFR pilot, they are a crucial modern day checkpoint, following the chart, looking at the ground features and seeing a dirty great big gleaming solar array is kind of what it's all about. And as we'll see hopefully in this video, they do tend to stand out, and they are quite useful, and they've all got their unique little shapes. So just very simple. It's 1,700 distinct solar farm locations through the UK and Ireland. 210 million metres squared of total custom scenery, an area larger than the city of Dublin is what they've done. So it's a big job, and of course it's PBR. But as I said, we're not going to be flying from here. We're going to be flying from Stow Maries, which is a beautiful little aerodrome created by Burning Blue Design. We're going to be flying to Fowlmere, which is another beautiful little aerodrome which has been created by Burning Blue Design. So this is a nice little flight involving a lot of Burning Blue Design, but you can see the level of detail that they put into these sorts of things is quite incredible. And another thing to point out, as with the solar farms, is that they take into account the detail that they're putting on their objects so that it doesn't get in the way of performance. For example, with the solar panels, the inverters and the substations, they have 3 levels of detail to avoid stutter and frame rate loss. So it's pretty cool that they are looking at all this sort of thing. And it's pretty cool that we are going to be flying the gorgeous T6. This is using the RandallSnow mod. A huge thank you to Randall for trying to breathe some realism and life into the T6. It's a beautiful aircraft. Plenty of videos on the channel with the old A2A one, which was the pinnacle. But we're going to take a flight from here at Stow Maries up to Fowlmere and have a look at some solar arrays. Enough of my waffling. Let's get going. Well, here we are, and as you can probably see, the weather has cleared up a little bit better than what we were seeing in the intro. I've been away, I've had a spot of lunch, actually dinner, because of course I'm doing this in the evening, and this is live weather, and it's looking a lot better than it was before, that's for sure. There was some really murky cloud that has passed over us and is probably somewhere over there in the distance, I should think. So yeah, let's get going. Enough of my waffling. We need to get a wiggle on. Right. So quick look around. Let's have the battery on. That's all good. Happy with that. Just open that. Some of these switches. This, of course, being the RandallSnow mod. There's some stuff that he's really worked on, which does make a big difference. There's some stuff which is still not operable and things that you can't do, but I'm just grateful to him for actually doing some work on it so that we can, we're approaching a T6 that we can actually enjoy, and I'm really hoping at some point to have something the same level as, of course, the A2A T6. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, have a look back at some of the older videos on the channel. I was lucky enough to get to fly in Wacky Wabbit from Duxford, yeah, lovely aeroplane. Okay, so I've been waffling a bit there, and I shouldn't have done, because then I lose track. So let's just get a few things sorted out. I'm going to crack the throttle. I start the engine with the prop fully course. Until the oil, I'm just reminding myself, I'm talking to myself here, till the oil is 40, and then I can stick it onto fully fine. Okay, fuel selector is there, that's there, That's all good. We need to pump up some... Right, how can I... Let's see if I can get a nice position. There we go, just locking the head track in there. So we have to do a bit of a dance here between getting some pressure and priming and all that kind of stuff to get us going. So if you look at the fuel pressure there, just pump up some pressure. Comes down very quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to pump up some more just to get that going. I'm now going to release the head tracking and then we can start. Start! There we go. Waiting for that temperature to increase. It's coming up nicely. Right, quick look around. That's all good. Happy with that. Bum, 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 bum. Let's have a quick check of physical controls. How's Milado in the back? Just the top of his forehead there. It's not sweating yet, which is always a good sign. Okay, that's all good. Interesting. Yeah. Right, just checking my head tracking. Fantastic. It's a lovely old burble, this T6. Nice heavy radial engine. There's nothing quite like it. I am so glad that Randall is doing something about it. And of course, bringing a lovely old engine to life, we have to be careful. So first of all, we're just checking on the oil pressure. So that's what we're looking at over here, and it's 30. I'm using the old A to A checklist, so I'm not sure if that is actually going to advance any further. It doesn't look like it is, so we're going to open the prop to fully fine. Oh, beautiful sounds. Listen to that. Okay, let's do a couple of quick checks. So I've got my gear down, that's absolutely fine. I'm going to check my flappage. I can see, what's that doing? Let's lock. Come on, behave. There we go. And we've got the flap dropping there, that's good. We would have someone outside saying, or looking at that as well. Yeah, we can see flaps come down there. So we're all flappage is working. Let's raise the flap. At the moment, with the mod in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, you can't use for some reason the physical binding isn't working. So that's just a little niggle because you've got to kind of remember to go down there with the with your hands. Now, let's have a look at the wind. Something odd is happening at Stow Maries today, because the wind is 8 knots from 150, but the windsock is pointing otherwise. I can only imagine there is some bug going on, because I can assure you that is the weather that that's the weather that we're flying, so I'm not quite sure what is happening with that. So I'm going to go off the weather that I'm seeing rather than the windsock. Quick check of the brakes, that's all good. Okay, let's tootle out. We're going to take runway 15, obs. Just spinning around a little bit. There we go, that's it. What a lovely sound. Careful where we are going. There we are. There's the runway threshold. Let's not bang into the old fence. There we go. Just having a little bit of fun with the steering there for a moment. Okie doke. Right, so as I said before, and I pointed out again just in case anyone didn't see it, the windsocks. The windsock actually looks like it might be pointing in the right. Actually, interesting. Yeah, the windsock seems to be 180 degrees the wrong way round, by the looks of it, which is strange because the wind is definitely coming from 150. So that's where we should be. Right, quick check. Everything's good. Let's do a quick mag check. Why not? And we'll cycle the prop. Yes, I know you're not meant to do this on the active runway. There's always someone who says, you do realise you shouldn't be doing that. Okay, quick mag check, that was all good. Right, happy in the back? Yeah, just see his forehead, still no sweat. Let's go. Bouncy runway. Incredibly bouncy runway there. Gorgeous. Right, let's close that. There we go. Okay, so first of all, what do we want? Just looking for our first heading. I know it's in this direction. Whoa. Get it back. There we go. What about 314? What a gorgeous sound. So we have Chelmsford just over there, which we can see just in the distance. Yeah, I think we seem to be in a nice little eye of calm by the looks of it, compared to the weather that we were seeing before. But there's Chelmsford. Oh, it is nice being back in the T6. It is such a lovely aeroplane, even if I can't remember the exact numbers. So there we are. So up ahead we have got Chelmsford Racecourse just on the right there, but you can see the solar farm just on the nose, and it just goes to show how useful they are as a visual reference point. When you look at the map and you can see a solar farm, they do tend to stick out. But let's have a quick look at the racecourse. Bit of Dunder Mifflin going on down there. Now let's have a look at this solar farm. So you can see by the shape, if I look at my map here, then I can see how the shape is very useful to identify. Because it's kind of fitting in with the fields, with the ground, and because of that you've got these kind of unique shapes, which as I look at the map aren't 100% exactly as I'm seeing here, but there is a good chunk of it that it is enough. For example, that kind of chimney sticking up at the top there's enough there, and the rest of the shape, that I can, you know, pretty easily identify it as being, okay, that's what I'm seeing on the map. So you get the idea. Of course you do. If you're still watching the video at this point, you totally get the idea. You totally understand what I'm talking about. Oh, what a gorgeous sound coming out of this radial. Good opportunity to say, by the way, we do have a Discord, so come along and say hello. I'll put the link down below. There's a warbird section, a helicopter section, a general aviation section, and just a general chat section. Great bunch of people. Mixture of experience types, but a really nice community. And it's all about the community that makes a good Discord at the end of the day. Proper autumnal day here in the UK. You can see it's just getting a tad murkier, but hopefully by the time we get to Fowlmere, everything will still be okay, and we won't have any nasty surprises. But we are going to have another look at another solar farm. And I think again it goes to show how well they kind of stick out. Colours look really really nice. I've got the Bijan seasons in, but I must admit I have turned the terrain masking off. Because it was doing some funny things with another piece of scenery that I've got. Here's another sneaky little solar farm. And again, this is on the map and it's the same shape, so again, a nice little visual reference point to help us VFRs on our way. Sim decided to have a little pause then. Always good fun when it does that. Take this one a little bit lower and then we can pop up over it. We will just get an idea of the detail. Oh, this is one of those aircraft where when you get down to low level you really feel the ground, the turbulence. You know how some aircraft you get a lot of turbulence at low level? Well, this is definitely one of them. So let's just pop up now. There we go. And this is quite a large one. But again, you can see all the detail is there. Got a few extra panels going on there by the looks of it. But that's a huge one. It's actually a massive job when you think of it, to try and cover as many solar farms as they have done, and you know, the checking that they're in the right place and all that sort of thing. So I guess you're bound to get the odd one like that where you've got some stray panels popping up. But they're the kind of organisation that they update things rapidly. As soon as the community points things out, they get in there and they get stuck in. I've got a huge amount of respect for Burning Blue Design. Their attention to detail is just incredible, and their willingness to fix things is fantastic. Just looking at the map, which doesn't really help you because I'm looking in the air, but this is, what's this? Driving Experiences Carver Barracks. That's worth a look. See if we can see anything interesting. You never quite know with autogen scenery and everything quite what you're going to get. It's a bit like when I'm flying Hello. Wow, my tanks must have been quite empty. Okay. Another disused airfield, obviously. Let's have a quick flip and look down this wing. Now, the reason I was chuckling there is I don't often fly default aircraft, and this is obviously a modded default T6, and it was interesting that because it's a default, jumped into it, not really giving much thought to how much fuel was loaded in it, which of course, as we all know, is such a basic thing to do. So it's not completely empty, but it certainly cut down a bit, didn't it? Let's try that again, see what happens. Have a play. So back onto left tank. Interesting that the engine hasn't cut out again, isn't it? What wind have we got? We got a 31 knot crosswind at the moment. Obviously windier up here. Checking that fuel tank again. So we are going to be landing at Fowlmere, but we have got a couple of other solar farms up this way, and I'm just going to let's just lock off the head tracking so I'm not dragging you around, and then I'm just going to have a quick check of the weather at Fowlmere. So what have we got? There it goes. Oh, good time for it to go when I've locked off that. So let's get back onto the... Come on. There we go. And recover. Times like that, I think I should have something bound so I can select tanks without having to look down and get my head out of the cockpit. But there you go. So quick check of the... So that obviously... If I switch back now, it might fire up again, but it obviously calculates a certain amount of fuel in the lines and then cuts out. But anyway, we'll stay on the right-hand tank because we need to burn some off to give us a chance. So what? 170 at 10 knots at the nearest. Okay. So hopefully on the ground the wind will be slightly less, because otherwise it's going to be rather sporty landing this. But here we go, we've got another farm. There of course is Fowlmere. Now interestingly, the windsock here, let's have a quick look. sock here looks like it's pointing in the right direction, which is good. Yep, that's so good. So we'll be taking 2.5. And let's have a quick look over here because we've got another wind farm. Keep saying wind farm, solar farm. Idiot. I do love these burning blue design airfields. So much character. Beautiful. How are we doing with our fuel tank here? Excellent. Guess it must load up with just a small amount of fuel. Unless, of course, and I haven't checked, unless Randall has built persistent fuel level into this, which I'm not sure if there is, but that might be why, if I've not checked my fuel properly. Rookie mistake. Kind of thing... Hello, come back. Yeah. Kind of thing that you most certainly do with... if you're flying A to A Acusim, anything like that. So again, you can see from here, this solar farm is a nice, easy way of identifying what's going on. It has a unique shape to it, so it's fairly easy to quickly look at a map and say, yep, I know where that is. And another big one over there. They certainly seem to like their wind. I did it again, solar farms. Ladies and gentlemen, the reason why I keep saying wind farms is because I spend so much time flying helicopters where I'm dodging wind farms that that phrase keeps popping out of my head instead of saying the correct thing, which of course is solar farms. We are farming solar, not wind. Let's just get that right before people start leaving very angry comments. Okay, so we'll do a run-in and break, and they don't call this the pilot maker for nothing. It's not a difficult aircraft to fly, but it's a difficult aircraft to fly with finesse. That's for sure. And certainly that's probably what I'm lacking in the old T6 these days. Oh, wow. Fair bit of turbulence there we're picking up. That's going to be sporty on landing. There's Duxford up there. Good old Duxford. So, as I said, run in and brake. And then we can do a nice curve to show off our lines to the crowd, and then back. Okay, so just checking, mixture's rich, prop is now fully forward. Let's watch the speed, tad slow. Let's trim to make life a bit easier for ourselves. Dangle the Dunlops, watching them travel. All good. A little bit slow. Oh, there we go, 120, that's good. Okay, let's come round. Beautiful sounds. Right, let's open the window. So it's a right click and then there we go. This stage I'm going to introduce a bit of flap. Oh, this is, yeah. Very difficult doing that while you're trying to fly as well. When we're so high, I've just dumped the whole lot of flap because we had nose up while I was faffing about doing that. So I need to come back on the power. We need to reduce or watch our speed anyway, manage that. So we're coming in quite steep. Yeah, trying to find the click spot is not a realistic simulation of flying a T6. Ooh, buffeting. Floating a bit. Boy. Quite a stronger crosswind than anticipated. But we made it. We made it. Had I had a nice operable flap lever, I would have been raising those flaps as soon as we touched down just to kill the lift. But of course we didn't have that. Didn't have that thrill. Well, there you go. Good fun. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. It's just a quickie, really, a quick flight, just to show what these solar farms look like from the air, so you get an idea. And yeah, if you're into your VFR flying, they are a useful little thing to have, and just help with your navigation. It's a lovely little airfield, Fowlmere. Really is. Look at that. Just oozing character. It really is. Lovely. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the flight. I hope you found it useful. It's been great fun having you on board, and I look forward to seeing you on the channel again soon. Take care now. Bye bye.